this ahead of season 47, and I'm going to ask it again for 48. Is there anyone in this season who entertained you so much that you thought they would be great for season 50?
Absolutely.
And can we have a little tease about that?
No, absolutely not. The idea for In the Hands of the Fans was an idea I had just sitting at home, thinking about 50, and honestly thinking it should be a thank you to our fans. That was the big headline, because we're on the air because people have been so loyal in watching us. And even if they don't like an idea we do, they don't leave. They stay with us. So that gives us the permission to try things. So it was the name that I figured out that I felt like it would work. When I came up with In the Hands of the Fans, I was very excited. And I called Matt Van Wagenen and I said, I got it. Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans. Now what do we do with it? And that's when we started thinking, what are we gonna do with it? We didn't come up with letting them vote on elements of the game until a little bit later, but we knew they were gonna be in charge of the game. And that idea is very exciting and just a little bit scary.
Did you know that that was going to be the theme when you did the event last year and asked the participants if they wanted it to be a returning players season?
Yes.
That's good to know. I love that.
And it's fun because I'm in on the game as well. So when we were at that Emmy event, I knew what was coming. And I knew that if I threw out a little bit of a lure, I would learn a lot from the fans about what they wanted. So I like that. I'm always playing Survivor.
Was that like the inciting incident that led you to be like, oh, we should have fans vote on this? Because I had fun at this FYC event letting them choose.
No, we already knew then.
Oh, you knew that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been working on this idea for a long time.
Yeah.
We just want to get it right. What's taken time is trying to figure out where should we let fans vote? Where can they actually have an impact and feel like they have some agency in the game? Here's the thing about the fan vote. Some things will be binary. Like if you don't want a Final Four fire making challenge, you can vote yes or no. Personally, I would never let that go because it's provided some of the most dramatic moments, but that's just me. Same with rice. Rice is binary. Rice or no rice. I would never give them rice if you're asking me, because I want the game to be hard. I want them cognitively to struggle. But some people think the game's too hard. Well, then give them rice. Not every question is going to be a yes or no. Other questions will be layers. You will have options of the kind of season you want to see played. So Kelly, in one way, your vote could take us back to an older game, or your vote could thrust us into the future to the next phase of the game. And what's exciting for us is that we're curious to see what kind of game fans really want. Because if fans are really in for a fun ride, we're gonna give you opportunities to take the game into the future. And if you really think it should be pure, no advantages, no idols, no twist, to some degree you will have that sort of power, but you'll have to wait until we reveal the different categories. I think it would be a mistake to just make it as simple as yes or no. I don't think that gives you a lot of power, because if you want to make a decision, the instinct is, well, I want to do something, so I'm just going to go opposite of what is there. We want to make it a little more fun. We want you to design the kind of season you want. Some things you can get rid of. Other things you will have more options. But here's the twist that no one yet is talking about. The fans will vote for the kind of game they want. What's really going to be complicated is the players will know all the possibilities, but none of the results. Which means, as a player, I could say, this is in the game. How do you know? Because I got it. But not have it. I just know it was on the option list, which means anything is possible. We have no idea what's in the game. Therefore, I can lie to you about anything because you don't know any more than I know. Only we, the producers, will know, and then we'll let the fans in on it. But the players will never let in on it until it's in front of them. They go, oh, I guess this is in the game, or oh, I guess this isn't in play. That's what I think is going to be fun, is the players are going to be in a massive world of uncertainty. I think there's going to be a lot of fun manipulation from people who know how to play this game, and they know that the opportunity is there for me to create diversions without you ever knowing. There's no way to know who's going to be telling the truth. because we're going to design it in a way that the players are going to say it's one of these options and all of them are a problem for me.
And you really leveled the playing field for the old era, or like the original era and the new era players here, because it doesn't matter if they're from the old or the new era, they're playing a brand new game.
Exactly. And that, you just hit it. You could go, in some ways, Survivor 50 is taking us back to our roots. In other ways, it's going to thrust us into the future. And the fans are going to decide. It really is an evolution, and I'm super curious if it can work. Could you have a game that's decided every year by the fans? And that's part of the fun. Or was this a terrible idea and we should never do it again? I have no idea. We haven't even sat down. We don't even know who's going to be on 50 yet.
The fan reaction has been really fun so far. Fans seem very excited by this idea.
I'm happy to hear that, because it really, all jokes aside, it's genuinely meant as a thank you. Thanks for supporting us. And if I've heard anything over the last 25 years, it's Probst. If I was in charge, okay, now you are.
When you announce new twists in the game in season 50, or are you going to say the fans have spoken?
Hadn't thought of that, Kelly.
Okay.
I will steal it and
Okay.
take credit for it.
We'll trademark it. Just give me a writing credit.
No, there were a lot of players there, but I didn't get a chance to really talk to them. The only reaction I had was that night in the room, and the Survivor fans that I got to meet afterwards. Every single person said, "I love it. I really want to. I want to have a vote." And I was surprised. It wasn't as clear as I thought. There were some people who said, "I want to give them rice," but there were other people saying, "I don't want an easy game." So what I think's going to happen is that once fans settle in to realizing they're in charge, it's not quite as simple as just saying, I want to have an impact, so I'm going to vote against anything that's been done. It's design the game you want. You're going to have lots of choices, but design it. That's what's fun. Don't just do it to be contrary. Actually design what you want to see them take on. These are players representing Survivor 50. Make them earn it.
On Saturday at the event, you said that you're trying to work through the mindset that you have about being a little bitter when Survivor contestants go on other reality shows.
Right.
Can you elaborate on why that upsets you? But I think it makes sense why, but could you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Yeah, we spend most of the year and a lot of money and a lot of time trying to find amazing humans to play Survivor. And it's no secret. Other shows wait for us to come out with a new season, and then they start calling the most popular players and say, hey, why don't you come play our game? It used to really bother me because I feel a little, you're our family. Like, what if we want you to come back and play? Could you just wait a couple of years and come back for a returning player season? I've been very honest about it. People cherry pick from us all the time. But I did have a realization in a quiet moment of solitude that I should be happy for them, that they did so well on Survivor and they are so compelling that somebody else wants to offer them money to come play their game. We don't do that. We say, come earn your money on our game. So I'm changing my mind, and I'm sorry to any former player that I've offended by saying, kind of hurt my feelings, but I care deeply about Survivor, and I am territorial about it. And it's why I don't watch any other unscripted shows, is I don't want to be influenced. Those shows produce their shows their own way. I know how we make our show. It's very pure, it's very raw, and I like it that way. And now, I'm happy to say, I'm excited for former players who get offers to do other shows, but it'll never be Survivor. Just remember that. Never.
It'll never be Survivor. And also, I feel like you would never, going on like The Traitors or something, like would never stop someone, a Survivor alum, from being able to come back to Survivor, right?
Probably.
Probably it would?
No.
Or probably not?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But it depends. Here's the risk you take. You come on Survivor and you have a great showing, and people really get to know you because Survivor's an ass kicker. So you're going to be revealed, and you're going to be raw, and you're going to be tired, and you're going to be vulnerable, and you're going to amaze yourself. And then everybody else is like, oh my God, she's really amazing. Let's have her on our show. The risk is you overexpose yourself with being on too many shows, or you do something on that show that makes it less appealing to have you back. So yeah, there's a little bit of risk reward. But I now get it. I'm Probst, I'm a person. You don't control my life. I want to go do another show. And I really do genuinely now get it. You're compelling. That's why they want you. I hope it works out. There's no question our casting process takes longer than any other show. It's all year. And it's a lot of money. And it's a very, very, very deep dive. And that's why our players are so interesting, is we really get to know you. And when we find people that we think are amazing and fun to watch and like to see take on this game, we put you on Survivor. It's not a knock on other shows, but those other shows are produced very differently. Or maybe they don't have the budget for casting that we do. You know, we're an old show. We've managed to keep our teams together. So I consider it a luxury that we can spend 9 months looking for our players. And really, that's the difference. We just have the time. I want to be clear, it's not that I'm saying other shows don't have great casting teams. They do. I'm just saying it's no secret you like taking some of our players. I get it. That means you're a great casting producer. You see somebody awesome and say, how do I get them onto this show? No, I like to vacation in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I love the water. There's just something about it that really grounds me and makes me feel, you know, like I'm home. I've never thought of the no vote finalist. I don't even know if we have enough of those players, but yeah, the runner-up season is a really fun idea and people pitch first off. We're getting to a point where maybe we have enough of those players that we think fans would want to see. Because Kelly, the one thing that we have to do as producers when we hear an idea from fans is really think through it logically. It's a great gimmick to say, first offs, a season of first offs, but then you have to look at the list and think, are all these people compelling? Would we put these people on today? Is there a story there that we got in 3 days before they were voted off that we could pick up and continue? And when we get to a point where the answer is yes, then we'll consider doing that season. But our job is to take in all the fan information and then try to do what we do, is produce an entertaining season. That's a good question. Would I rather get to the end and get no votes or be on the jury? Well, it's a cop-out to say I'd rather be on the jury. I want to get to the end. If there's a flaw in Survivor's voting system, it would be that you get one vote, because I think that's why somebody like Sam last season, you know, he didn't get more votes because you only have one vote. So if I'm going to give one vote, Sam, I'm giving it to Rachel. But if I had 1.5 votes, I might give you a half vote. So I think if you had a different way to find a winner, you might have much more varied results. But I'd rather get to the end knowing I did my best and just lose to somebody who did better. I don't want to sit on the jury.
Yeah, you want to give a jury pitch too, right? I feel like that's a really fun thing to do.
You want to
stressful, but fun.
Yeah, I want to stand up. Say, Jeff, is it okay if I stand up and walk around a little bit? Sure, go ahead. All right. If I may, I'm worried that I'm not going to get any votes tonight. And I just want to make a case for why these other two people, although very nice, don't deserve it. So take with me a journey as I take you back into how I played this game. Yeah, that's fun.
This is why you should like me. Here's my speech.
This is why you should like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Survivor isn't the first of its kind, but it literally is the second. And of course, the first version of it was a Mark Burnett production itself. It was called Eco Challenge.
Yeah.
But Survivor really has defined reality TV competition shows, the genre as we know it. The 25th anniversary of the series premiere is coming up in May.
Wow.
And you've shared your feelings about the show's legacy plenty of times before, but I'd love to know how you personally, just as a TV lover yourself, feel about the fact that something you've made has had so much influence on TV history. Yeah,
it's a weird question to contemplate because, you know, I have to separate myself and my experiences and then try to see it objectively. And the only way I can ever do it is that when I meet a kid, when I meet an 8-year-old, and he or she says, I'm gonna be on your show one day. And we've now been on long enough that those 8-year-olds I've met have ended up on the show. That really gives me some context for how long we've been on, and the fact that that 8-year-old kid never lost their dream. That imagination burned inside them until they were 19, 20, 21, and they got on the show. And that makes me feel great because I make the show for kids in the sense that adults, we all can watch it, but that pure burning inside a kid that's like, wait a minute, I could do that? You mean I could go live in Mom, I think I could do it. I think I could make fire. I think I could catch a fish. And I always go, I think you could too. I can't wait to see you out there. That's what makes Survivor different. It's this aspirational, inspirational, grand life adventure cleverly disguised inside a game. You know, I remember being in Manhattan during I remember being in New York during that first season of Survivor, and it was everywhere. Everybody was talking. It was kind of like White Lotus now, where everybody, did you see the episode? And I didn't really understand. I was so new. I didn't understand how big that was when the whole country and the world was talking about Survivor. And now we're just a show. We're just still on. We're still doing Survivor. And it still feels the same way. Like, I'm as enthusiastic today as I was the day Mark said, you got the gig. I'm hiring you. I'll see you on the island. I mean, honestly, I wanted that job so bad. I wanted Survivor like I'd never wanted anything. And when I got it, I couldn't believe I had it. I still can't believe, sitting here talking to you, Kelly, still can't believe I still have it.